It is the 18th of Feb. Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us for our Tuesday weather update. Let's get into the wind map, and you can see here this evening showing air pressure as well, the large area of low pressure around New Zealand. You've had a low pressure system dropping southwards from the tropics, that is it around the lower South Island, and we've got a low coming in from the Tasman Sea, and they're sort of dancing around each other, merging together. And that creates instability, especially with the afternoon heating that we get in summer. So we could be seeing some thunderstorms, especially in the inland lower part of the South Island, northern Southland, central Otago, anywhere in those sort of regions around the hills and ranges of Southland and Otago, likely to be seeing some heavy downpours. And maybe elsewhere along the South Island and maybe even into the North Island, low pressure, afternoon heating kind of works together. The high pressure system out to the east here still dragging down a bit of a subtropical flow into it as well. You may have noticed the humidity around the country at the moment, but over here, the next high pressure system dredging up a cooler southerly, that's moving into Tasmania, and it's going to move into the rest of the country in the days ahead. And that just sort of means the humidity drops down a bit. Doesn't mean it's cold for everyone though. If you live in the eastern side of the country on Wednesday, look at the windy nor'westers blowing through across there. So it won't be cold necessarily on Wednesday, but some of you may notice the humidity's not as bad. And as we go through the day, you can see more of that cooler air south of Tasmania. That is moving closer to the South Island. So the low drops southwards away from us. The southwesterly winds or the westerly winds, they move on in. So they might be northwest in some areas, southwest in the other. That's what we call a westerly quarter wind. Southland, parts of Otago, and the whole western side of the country most exposed to getting some of that wet weather. Got a complaint from someone in Horowhenua yesterday about the lack of rain there, how they seem to find the rain just sort of vanishes in their region. The complaint was about that, not about us. And so a few showers are coming through there, but yeah, the lower North Island has missed out on some of that rain, but the whole western side of New Zealand has not had their normal amount of rainfall so far this year, which is why you're hearing the word drought and extremely dry and words like that bubbling up now for this western side. So a wee bit of relief coming through on Wednesday, but may not be enough to really reverse things, especially in the North Island where it is drier and will not have as much rain in the week ahead. The South Island's west coast will be the wettest, and you can see here on Thursday the next surge of westerly driven weather. So the further south you are, the wetter it will be on that western side. The further north you are, like parts of Auckland and Northland and Waikato, not seeing very much in the way of wet weather. Also on Thursday, we start to see more life in the tropics. This is the low pressure system around Tonga that we think may become a tropical cyclone in the days ahead. And there's another area forming around the Coral Sea, which may also be a tropical cyclone that could form. So we're keeping a lot of attention on the northern part of our maps at the moment as we start to see a lot of tropical life developing. And you can see here on Friday, there is that low right around Tonga. It could be a tropical cyclone by then, or it could still be developing, but either way, burst of wind and rain up there. We're going to have more details for the Pacific Islands. We should have a special video out tomorrow, Wednesday. We're just working out if that's the right day to do it, because we don't want to do a video that tells you nothing. So we're just trying to wait to see what the modelling is saying. But yeah, low pressure up there to keep an eye on. But for Friday, the main focus for us is the incoming high. And as it moves in, up comes the southerly. So temperatures drop on Friday, especially around Southland and Otago. There might even be a dusting of snow on the mountains. And the further north you go, you could be seeing a few thunderstorms or heavy falls as you mix that cooler change with the hot summer weather we're getting. North Islanders are mostly dry to begin with, but you might get some of those showers arriving into the afternoon or evening. But it is fair to say the further north that goes, the more likely it is to fall apart, which is why by Saturday, you don't really see it. It's been pushed out to sea here. Like I said, these are like bulldozers, high pressure systems. They push along and they clear away a lot of the rainmakers and they move them out to the edges. So that's why as we start to see what could be a tropical cyclone here next to Tonga by Saturday, the incoming high should, for now, keep that system up to our north, or it could drop down in front of it. That's always a possibility. And you can also see here on Saturday the next low pressure zone deepening in the Coral Sea. So look, mostly dry around New Zealand on Saturday, a couple of showers around the outer edges. Coastal ones won't do much, won't add up to much. the day is becoming mostly dry. And by the time we get to Sunday, the high is smack bang over the top of us. So the winds are light in many regions, maybe a few afternoon cloud build-ups around the South Island. Could be an isolated shower caught up in that developing easterly at the top of the country, and that easterly at the top of the country obviously strengthens as you go into the subtropics, and that's where we've got the low pressure systems pushing down against the high pressure zone. So by Monday of next week, here's an interesting map for the end of Monday afternoon. We can see these storms up in the tropics, potentially 2 areas to keep a close eye on. For now, this one is still not expected to come into the New Zealand area, but it certainly is close enough to keep an eye on. And if the high pressure zone drifts faster to the east, that could allow, this is the weak part here between the high pressure systems. So you can see why that low in the Coral Sea could drop right down. This one over here, not quite sure yet. So we're keeping an eye on it. None of it's locked in yet, but I think it's safe to say if you're around Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, you could be seeing some heavy rain. But we're likely to have another update for you tomorrow, Wednesday, about the Pacific Islands. We'll see how we go. We just want to wait, make sure these maps are getting more locked in. But there we go. That is the big picture forecast for New Zealand and the South Pacific through until the start of next week. I'll see you again tomorrow, Wednesday, with our next update.